Hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Right, well we decided to do a video because we were watching Mike and Kim's one about the UK London Bethel. And very interesting, guys. Well done for your research and your information that people keep sending to you.
Yes.
People send us as well. I like information.
Yeah, I'm so offended. No, only joking.
We're already joking.
Now, this Chelmsford business, Mike,
it's
Chelmsford. Okay? Chelmsford, okay? And I know Kim was giving you some funny looks every time you said it.
I do exactly the same. Mark pulls my leg all the time about certain words because I pronounce them certain way. In fact, I'll just tell you a quick story about our son, with both of them. Graffiti in our house is called Northern Betty. Northern Betty. Because when he was 8, we were in the van and we were driving along, and he said, "What's all that writing on there? That Northern Betty." Northern Betty. We said Northern Betty. What does that mean? What's Northern Betty, for goodness sake? It means graffiti. So graffiti. So now called Northern Betty. Graffiti is always known as Northern Betty in our house, and we've got a place in Gloucester that's the Keys because it's spelled Q-U, A-Y-S. Yeah. Now, but our oldest son, so it does run in the family. So call it. What are you trying to say? The Quays. The Quays. Interesting one. So anyway. We love you, Mike, because that's just the sort of thing our family would do. Yeah. Anyway, we're on today. Yes. Cut to the chase. We did a little bit of research, 10 minutes on a laptop while we were having a cup of tea. And it was straight after your video. It was after your video, and we just thought, oh well, let's look it up, and we started doing a bit of research. And literally 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, we came up with a couple of things that raised more questions than it did answers. And it's based on the fact that you, Mike and Kim, have pointed out this talk by this elder, and the transcript of that shows quite clearly that the Watchtower wants more money above and beyond what's already been taken from the brothers and sisters down in London for this new development in Chelmsford, including also their own time and resources and skills and trades, all free of charge. We know the score, don't we, everybody? But it's not just what you're donating, we want more. And so it got us thinking, because we were down there a couple of weeks ago. The workshop that was done in London was actually held in Mill Hill, and as we were driving round, well, we didn't actually realise that it was in Mill Hill until we turned and I went, "It's Mill Hill." It's Mill Hill. Now, the area is a very affluent, very wealthy area, and the houses are beautifully big, very luxurious houses. A lot of them are, Not one run-down property at all. They're all very, very, very nice properties. So after listening to Mike and Kim's video, we were looking at each other and thought, well, if they haven't got enough money to build in Chelmsford, what on earth did they get for the property in Mill Hill? Have they actually sold it yet? Because that letter that was read out from August 2013 that Mike and Kim read out was making out that they had found this land, and that and also from the brothers, the video, the audio that they played with regards to the elders and the brothers discussing this development, that they'd found this derelict land, or was it called a dump? It was a toxic dump. And how that they'd been guided to this site, and that nobody wanted it, and it was to purchase the land was it 10 million? I think they found out some information. It was about 10 million to purchase, but they needed to develop it. So that got us to thinking about the size of Mill Hill, because they also mentioned that when they first took Mill Hill on, they had 70 people in the Bethel, and now there's over 700. Well, to be honest, if you ever Google Mill Hill, if you Google IBSA House, so it's International Bible Students Association House, IBSA, then you will get a Google Earth picture of the building. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but they don't just own that building. They own another one across the street that if you go on Google Earth and expand it, you'll have names come up. And that one is called Watchtower Bible Tract Society. That's what it's called, Watchtower Bible Tract Society. And the other one's IBSA. IBSA, House. Same thing. Same business, same organisation, same Jehovah's Witness corporation. But different company names that they're using for this. So we found that very interesting. But as we got into listening to this reading the transcript and listening to it,
it brought forward, well, let's do some research. And in layman's terms, we're not professionals at this.
We're not computer experts.
But what we did find was interesting. We thought it was worthy of actually sharing on a YouTube video so that other people could have a look at this stuff, cultivate the idea, and maybe if there are experts out there, architects, that type, that have got this type of information ready to hand, maybe they could actually give us more information as to what accurately is going on here. But this is exactly what we found anyway.
Well, what we're going to do is we held the laptop up just now to see if it would work in the camera, but the light from the window is shining on it too much because it's a shiny screen. So I'm going to try and do is insert some inserts in here for you to see what exactly it is we're talking about. Now, when you Google the building, it's a beautiful, massive 5-story building at the front, IBSA house, and it's huge in its surrounding area as well. And behind it is a load of development land, well, land for development, completely empty. There's a few what look like, if you zoom in, machines that are going around the back. And I'm thinking, said to Mark, if they really wanted to make the Bethel bigger, why are they wanting to move locations when Mill Hill area is prime location and worth a lot of money? It's millions and millions of pounds worth of land.
It's got to be. I mean,
alone.
The average. I mean, we were looking at property values in Mill Hill, which is something all of us can do, and just go in there,
houses.
Look up the postcode, and look at some of the properties. Some of them, yeah, you can get the cheaper ones, but look at some of the other prices. 5 million quid.
5 million and 9
is an
million.
Average
9
4
million.
or 5 million for a house. A house.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is in the same area. It's very much a Jewish community that live there, but not predominantly, but it is a Jewish community that's lived there. And maybe market forces, that's why the house prices are going up and up and up. It just seems to be the case with London as a whole. But here we are, the jewel of the crown, Mill Hill. What a luxurious area. And Watchtower owns these 2 massive, great big buildings. And then we discovered something, didn't we?
We did.
So, remember that they're looking to move to Chelmsford.
Because they haven't got enough room where they are.
No,
so
they're looking to go to Chelmsford. But what does this mean for Bethel? Because we thought, why would you sell that building? And maybe the question is, maybe they're not selling it. I mean, this is something that we're still learning ourselves
perplexed about it, aren't we?
Yeah, based on the information that we now have. So, we did some more researching, didn't we?
We did, and we found that the was it barnet.gov.uk? So when you Google barnet.gov.uk, you will find that it's a planning application site. So what we'll try and do is at the bottom of this video, I'll also try and attach the direct link for the application, because there was an application made. Now, the letter and the information that Mike and Kim were reading out was dated back in August 2013. Well, this application that we found was to extend the building. Now, I'll get it up on the computer, so if you want to talk, honey, while I'm doing that.
There were 2 company names that the Watchtower have used to put in 2 applications for the Bethel at Mill Hill. Okay? And the company names are the Kingdom Hall Trust, and the number for that company name is 003554443. And the other company name is Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Britain, and their company name is 038585051.
Now, this is all on this particular thing that we're going to read to you now, so you can see this yourself. This isn't something we're making up.
No.
This isn't apostate literature or material. This is purely information out there on Google. And on that barnet.gov.uk, under those 2 company names, there was a planning application related items. Okay, there's a number and then its extension of IBSA house, comprising 3-story extension to the northwest wing at first, second and roof level, and a 3-story extension to the south wing at second, third and roof level to create 3,233 square metres of additional floor space. IBSA House, The Ridgeway, London, NW71RN. That is the Watchtower's headquarters. Now, this application was made in February of 2014, this year. So Mark and I are thinking, well, maybe they're not selling Mill Hill at all. Maybe they're just wanting to extend it. Or not. But if they were to sell it, then that that application with that extension on the side would be worth an absolute fortune.
So let's break this down a little bit further now then. So we've got this extension, this application to extend Mill Hill by 3,233 square meters. Now that's an enormous amount of additional space to be added to the Mill Hill area under construction. And we realise also that this application does not need public consultation.
It actually says on the bottom, no public consultation needed or required. Well, that usually means, I mean, I don't know anybody else out there, but if ever you've gone to have an extension and you have neighbours in front of you, behind you, to the side of you, or you're going to create such a level, high extension, it's not a one-level extension, that's a 3-storey extension, you would have to consult with your neighbours. If you look on Google Earth and you actually Google the Ibese house and look at it, you will see that they've got houses directly in front of them and obviously around that area. So they've got neighbours. So then we started thinking, well, does that mean that they own those houses then? Because then they wouldn't have to ask permission because they already own the land. If they own the building opposite and they own the building behind these houses, and there's land behind that's prime for developing, makes you wonder exactly how much of that they own.
So this is a question to just put out there because it's raised questions in us. Are we only just sort of viewing the tip of the iceberg here? How much does Watchtower own in that area? Is it just these 2 buildings, or is it more?
Or is it more?
Do they own the land? Do they own the properties that are in front, and possibly the development that's going on behind? Do they own that land?
Do some of the people that work at Bethel, the higher ones up, have their own houses around that area rather than having to live in with all the others that live at Bethel? Now, this floor space, I don't know whether you want to mention that, honey, now.
Yes. I think we should, because this is an interesting point to bring out. Now remember, there's no public consultation needed. They are looking for 3,233 square metres of space. Now,
extra space.
We will look, extra, on top of everything.
On top of what they already own.
So we thought, okay, so the postcode for Mill Hill and the London postcode for that, property value on construction per square metre in that postcode area is worth what per square metre? So we looked it up and we nearly fell off our chairs. To the average price per square metre of construction space, added value to a property per square metre is £5,852 per square metre. Added to any building that's in that area.
So if you look, so that's how they average out the prices in areas. So if it's a prime real estate area like Mill Hill is, that's how much that they would put on the value per square metre. Okay.
Based on what we've been reading.
And they want to extend it by 3,233 square metres of space. Times that by 5,852 gives you
drum call.
I'm no good at drums.
Are you going to read the figure?
I'll read it. 18,919,516 pounds.
Wow. So
of extra value on the building itself already. So this bull, excuse my French, but it is about the fact that they are running out of money or have no money, then why on earth, one, if they want to build an extension, would that not be enough? 2, if they have sold the property or are selling the property, would that not build a building?
Yes, it would.
Or you know, especially in Chelmsford, the area that they're looking at.
Maybe, I mean, just to sort of break this down a little bit more, they don't have to build.
No.
Once they've got the application in and it's been accepted, then they can sell, potentially.
Potentially.
This is just all speculative, and we could be proven to be very wrong and off the mark here. But if they've got the application approved, those 2 applications, and they've got the extra constructed value of 19 million quid, okay, added to that building because they've now got the applications in.
And they've been, by looks of it, been passed.
To a potential developer, such as a hotel chain, for instance, or some other type of development, they will look at that and think that the potential to grow this building or sell it on is now enormous. So Watchtower, regardless of what happens, if these applications have gone through, I've just added £19 million to the Bethel price. 19 million
even
quid.
If you, because there's no building there, because there's the potential, you could halve it and say, well, there's actually no building, but the planning permission has been granted, therefore the additional space for anyone purchasing that property
is this.
They don't have to go forward and do it unless they're changing it, but because people live at Bethel, there's already occupancy happening, so they wouldn't have to necessarily apply for extra planning permission to turn it into, say, a hotel or some kind of residence like that.
That's if they're keeping it.
If they're keeping it.
So we're putting it out there that we're not convinced that the brothers and sisters in London are even aware that these two applications have gone in. If you are aware of it and there's anybody out there that knows about this,
please let us know.
Please let us know.
We haven't heard anything.
And are we wrong about these figures? Because this is based on the research that we've done, and we're looking at a £19 million additional stamp being put on that building simply because of the applications.
But what Mike and Kim pointed out about the labour involved in building the Chelmsford building would be donated labour and time. And you usually find that brothers with specific skill sets are the ones that are pulled in to build a property. So all the labour is free. It's usually the labour that's the most expensive part. Okay, materials play a part in that, but it's not going to cost you like it would an ordinary company building a building, because it's all the labour is free.
That's
and
right.
usually if a brother has a company selling particular materials, which they do have, they have people of all different trades, all different specs of ability, and they will own companies that they'll give or sell items to the organisation for next to nothing, because they want to help Jehovah's organisation. So on every level, it would not cost them like it would an ordinary building firm to build such a building. So when they're asking for people to put their hands in their pockets and find the money that they need to build the building that they want to build, you've got to ask yourself, where is all the money that they have in Mill Hill ready? Why are they jumping the gun? Why aren't they selling that first, or maybe not selling it first, but sell one of the buildings first to start the project, so that they can at least get it off the goal, or you get the organisation help out, then sell Mill Hill to pay the organisation back. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Lots and lots of questions. I think for me though, the most important one is, Watchtower will do whatever Watchtower wants to do,
as it always has.
as it always has done. But what interests us more importantly is, are the publishers in this area of the country aware of what's actually being planned? Or are they being kept in the dark and fed on you-know-what, like the mushrooms that we all know they are? So that's what we're opening up for discussion, and if anybody can actually enlighten us on whether or not we're totally wrong, I welcome
Please
that.
let us know.
And if we are totally right, we welcome that too.
But what we're going to do is, I say, we're going to try and insert in certain parts of the video the pictures that we found, but we encourage you, we'll put the links on the bottom, to encourage you to go on to these sites yourself, to prove it for yourself, investigate for yourself. This was just 10 minutes worth of investigating, and we've come up with all this. But Mike and Kim have now got the audio side of the video sorted, so I think they're going to upload a video shortly with regards to what the actual letter said and the brother reading it actually in the London area. So hopefully,
talking about Jehovah's blessing on this, and that it's got the Almighty God backing it. And
what annoyed me was the fact that he was saying that
dear, oh dear, oh dear.
They're asking for people's contributions and time and money, and watching Mike and Kim's first video, the music got us. The fact that they were building everybody's anticipation up, and it's that whole, and by the end of it, Mike and I looked at each other and said, if we were sat in that Kingdom Hall, still brainwashed, we would have gone, quick, reach for the purse.
We would have thrown our wallet.
We would have offered our time. Yeah. We would have moved to London for a week to help out with the building.
I'd have made the teas.
Yeah, I'd have been
Put a skirt on.
Seriously, yeah. It's a whole building up of everybody's anticipation. It's all part of their plan to get you, oh yeah, this is amazing. It's that run up. It's a subliminal thing again of the, you know.
Please let us know if you know of anything that's going on in London with the Mill Hill, because I really do smell a ratty, and I think they're being conned and shafted every which way that you want to look at this. We just haven't actually got all of the pieces of the puzzle yet. And
well, again, you're not going to be told everything because they don't want you to know everything.
No.
They want you to know the bits that they want you to know.
Mushrooms.
That rubbish about not putting round plates for contributions within the Kingdom Hall.
Anthony Morris.
You saying that we don't pass the plates round. We don't do this. We don't ask for contributions. Yeah, no. What you do is you ask your sheep to fill out forms of how much they can donate each month.
Oh, you do far more than just having a begging bowl round. You do
far more. You get your followers to go into a contract with you as to how much they can afford to give you every month.
Pseudo tithing.
Tithing of beyond belief.
Yes.
So I would prefer a contribution plate going round to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because at least you can just see what you've got in your pocket on that day, rather than I'm going to give you this each month.
Let's hope the Watchtower come clean one day and really let us know what's going on.
I doubt that they will.
No,
anyway,
of course they won't. Money making.
We're going to say goodbye, and hopefully I'll be able to get these links linked up.
Thank you for your patience listening to this, but can we just finish with that figure of £18,919,516
on top,
added if the applications go through.
Which they look like they have, because it was February.
Not bad,
this year.
Not bad for a day's work.
We're in the wrong business.
Yes.
Anyway, take care, and we'll all speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.